From the News Channel 5 Network, this is Open Line.
Good Monday evening, everyone. Rhori Johnston in the Open Line chair here on News Channel 5 Plus, sitting in for Carrie Sharp. Hope you've had a good Monday so far. I know a lot of folks getting ready for the Titans game. Kickoff at 9:20 tonight. So you got plenty of time. Sit back and relax, watch Open Line tonight, because we do have an important topic to talk about, and that is now the right time finally to send kids back to in-person learning? We know some school districts around the state have already begun this, and others have not, including Metro Nashville Public Schools. There's been a lot of delays, back and forth, a lot of changes since spring when coronavirus first started. But we do have a group of parents who are very eager to get their kids back into the classroom, not just virtual learning. There is a group called Let Nashville Parents Choose. It's a coalition. Two of those members are with us tonight. We want to welcome Nicole Corey and Jennifer Claxton. Ladies, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, Jennifer, I know you are a parent of a J.T. Moore Middle School student. Is that right?
Yes, and an elementary school student at Glendale.
At Glendale, okay.
So,
and Nicole,
the two different.
Nicole, you have also a student at Glendale. Is that right?
I have two. I have a third grader and a kindergartner.
Okay. First of all, in case people haven't heard about this coalition, Let Nashville Parents Choose, either one of you just jump in and tell us about the genesis of this group and what you're pushing for.
Yeah, we started a Facebook group. Originally, it was a private group, and we have around over 900 members in that, and we opened it up public a few weeks ago, and there's close to 500 members, and we're just a coalition of parents who want our children that are enrolled in Metro Nashville Public Schools to have the choice for in-person learning. Okay.
Obviously, there have been some changes. I've read some of the paperwork sent to me and looked at kind of the timeline and realized, gosh, so much has changed just since June when Metro Nashville Public Schools initially, kind of were being optimistic and hopeful that school would start on time on August 4th. Obviously, that did not happen. What kind of feedback have you received? How organized are you at this point? Is it just kind of a social media movement, or tell us more?
I think it is right now. We are trying to get out there and reach parents that share the same mindset that we have. We were told we would be given a choice, and we don't want to take those parents who are, enjoy virtual. It's working for them. We don't want to take that choice away from them. We just weren't given the choice that we were promised. And so we are trying to reach out to other schools, other clusters, and try to be a voice for those parents that, we're ready to go back to school. When we filled out the survey in July, my family was ready to go back. And so we were a little bit, I guess, blindsided by the kick back to past fall break, especially with the numbers where they are. And so we're just, we just want our choice.
Mm-hmm. And tell us about some of the challenges that parents have faced. I don't know if either of you are working parents as well, but it's tough when kids are still staying at home and they've been home for so many months.
Yes, I think, in my specific situation, we have 3 children, and so the 2 that are in school, they're doing okay emotionally. My kindergartner obviously needs a lot of help with the computer. She has no idea how to type. She, when we first started this, she had no idea even how to unmute herself so she could talk to the teacher. So someone has to be there supervising her basically all the time. And then we have another little boy that also needs a lot of attention. And so, and I work part-time. So if I'm not available, we're spending over $300 a month in additional childcare and tutors to help our kids get through this time. And I understand that not all families have those resources, and that's a large reason why we're fighting for this.
So when this started, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Yeah, same. I work full time. My husband actually works for Metro. He's an occupational therapist for the school system. And so, to Nicole's point, when you have two parents working, someone's got to be there for the children. I have a little bit a leg up on her in the fact that my kids are in 4th grade and 6th grade. So there's a little bit of self-sufficiency there. But still at that age, they're not at school on computers. So even basic things like downloading a PDF, being able to save it to a desktop, uploading to their teachers, basic computer skills we're having to do or we're having to pay people to do. And for me personally, I'm a realtor in Nashville, and so I am out all the time in my car with clients. I can't be at home, and so I do have to pay someone to be there to help them. And then when I get home, just the level of help that they need now versus when they were in the classroom is exhausting and probably tenfold. And so, I'm hanging on by a thread because to manage work and to manage 2 kids in 2 different schools is challenging with kind of no end in sight. Even with this last announcement, again, it's as long as, and maybe there's not a, hey, we're going back on this date. And that's concerning.
Were you all surprised when this group first started? I know you two aren't the only parents who are pushing to get back in the classroom. Were you surprised at how many parents kind of chimed in and joined your group and said, yeah, we need this?
Yes and no. I think just because of my children being younger, I realized, in my personal situation that the younger kids need a ton of supervision and help to do this. So I was a little bit surprised at the amount of parents with older children. However, I work in a clinic with children daily, and I've seen how tough this has been for a lot of older children, emotionally, socially, and academically. I've talked to kids that still, as of last week, have not logged on one time, and we're into starting week 7 of school. So that is, same. I mean, I'm concerned about my own children, but I'm concerned about a lot of others. So I assumed a lot of parents had a lot of concerns, but I was a little surprised at how many parents with older children were also just as concerned about their kids getting back in the classroom.
Sure. A reminder to our viewers real quick. Sorry, Jennifer, 737+ is the phone number if you would like to call in as we debate this issue, which is an important one because here we are middle of September, and it has been since March for a lot of these kids since they have been back in the classroom. 737+ is the phone number if you would like to call in. Before our, go ahead, Jennifer, you were about to chime in on that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just to her point, yes and no, same. I think there's a lot of parents out there that share the same sentiment, but are hesitant to be vocal, hesitant to be front and center on this issue. And, I feel like we're speaking for them as well. Just knowing some of the patient population that my husband has, a lot of his parents don't speak English, or they don't have access to Facebook or a computer or an email address. And so there's a whole population out there that shares our sentiment, but just can't rally the troops like we're trying to do.
Right. All right. With that, we're going to go ahead and jump into our first break because we have a phone call. We already have one phone call on hold. We would like that person just to hold on for just a second. A lot more, so many moving parts to this that we want to talk about. And of course, we want to talk about Mayor Cooper and the Board of Education, Dr. Battle, the steps that they've taken. And we have an update, kind of a revised statement from your group here in front of me after Tuesday's board meeting and then Sunday's phase-in announcement. We're going to kind of update you on all that when we come back. We'll be right back. Stay with us.